Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chorda, and in this training video I'm going to go over the unemployment benefits secret, and I'm going to answer the question, does it actually pay more to be on unemployment right now? Now this video is divided into three parts. The first part is that all the states will make their own interpretation. The second part is that your benefits really depend on your job and what your job situation was like before the pandemic. And number three is every situation has its own nuances. So I'm going to try and cover as much as I can. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Before I do that, if you're already a member of our community, welcome back. If you're not a member of our community yet, please click the subscribe button below with notifications turned on. And also please smash that like button because that really helps out the YouTube algorithm. A lot of effort goes into creating these videos, and I would really appreciate it if you take 1 second of your time to click that like button right now. Go ahead and do it right now, please. Okay, you did it? Thanks. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Now, according to a recent survey, almost 40% of Americans stand to make more money on unemployment than they did on their regular wages. Now, keep in mind, unemployment only lasts for up to 26 weeks in most states, and then there's an additional 13 weeks that the federal government has provided. There may be additional unemployment benefits after that, and then on top of that there's a $600 federal booster for people who are unemployed up until July 31st. So unemployment is intended to be a temporary phenomenon, and it's intended to keep you afloat and then encourage you to go back and get a job. So obviously critics of the unemployment program, if you will, the expanded unemployment program, say that, well, this is going to discourage people from going out there and getting jobs. But I think under the circumstances, this is the system that we have, and it is a system that's hopefully not forcing people to go out of their homes to look for jobs. So that was the intention behind Congress and behind the Senate anyway, when they got this passed and when they got these benefits out to the American people. Now, I mentioned 40% of individuals making more money on unemployment than they did with their normal wages. These are specifically low wage earners, those who are in retail, those who are in accommodation, those who are in food services, individuals who are on low paying jobs, on low wage jobs, who now are seeing significantly more income coming in because of the $600 per week booster from the federal government. Now, what's incredible about this is that some low wage earners can actually make twice as much as what they were making before. Now, since the unemployment program was instituted back in the 1930s, almost 100 years ago, it has never been like this. In fact, the level of jobless benefits right now is higher than ever since the institution of the unemployment benefits program back in the 1930s. Now, in general, the lower the wages and the higher the unemployment benefits in a state, because remember, every state has their own minimum and maximum unemployment benefits. The average unemployment income across the country is $371.88 a week. Now, with the $600 federal booster shot, that comes to almost $1,000, which is meant to replace 100% of the income for the average American. At least that is what was Congress's intention. Now, like I mentioned earlier, certain low wage earners stand to make double of what they were normally making because of the $600 federal booster shot. In fact, if you look at this chart on your screen right now, you'll see that the wage replacement varies by industry. So on the right side, you'll see that blue circle that corresponds to accommodation and food services. Now, that is a significant number of people compared to the smaller circles, which represent a smaller number of people. So you can see that all the way on the right side, accommodation and food services, now those individuals on unemployment are making almost 200%, in other words, almost double of what they were making with their normal wages. So you can see that sort of vertical line with those dashes in the middle, that's what they would receive. That's 100% of their wages under normal circumstances. But now with unemployment and with the $600 federal booster, individuals in accommodation and food services all the way to your right side. And then if you look at the circle right next to that, you'll see retail trade, you'll see administration, support, waste management, you'll see transportation and housing. All of those individuals are now making more than what they would have earned under normal circumstances on a normal salary. So as you can see, the numbers are very clear. A lot of individuals, about 40% of all Americans, are making almost twice as much as what they would have made. Now again, unemployment is intended to be a temporary phenomenon. You can't have a nation that's perpetually on unemployment. There are disadvantages to being on unemployment. When you come back to work, for example, you could be looking at lower wages. When you're on unemployment, you're probably not going to be qualifying for health insurance through your employer, so you're going to need to buy your own health insurance. So there are those other considerations as well. So there are long-term detrimental effects to unemployment, but the intention here is to just keep us afloat, to give us enough money to keep the economy moving, to help jumpstart the economy when we get through this, and when we find a permanent solution, which in my mind would be a vaccine or a cure. Now, restaurant and hotel workers, that particular sector, that hospitality sector, has been the worst hit sector because of all these lockdowns impacting the entire sector. Restaurants are closed. And because of that, a lot of individuals who are in the restaurant industry, who are earning between $11 to $15 an hour, have seen mass layoffs. And for them in particular, being on unemployment, getting the $600 federal booster now allows them to get almost twice as what they were getting. Let's take a look at this chart on your screen right here. Wage replacement varies by occupation. Now you can again see that dash right in the middle of that chart right there, and that dash is what they would make had they been working under normal circumstances. So you can see at the top people who are in the fast food industry, people who are in amusement parks, cashiers, home health aides, bartenders, retail salespersons, pharmacy aides, tours and travel guides, security guards. All of these individuals were making an average wage anywhere between $11 to $15-16 an hour. But now on unemployment with the $600 federal booster, the wage replacement rate, which means how much they make on unemployment with this $600 federal booster, is now more than that dash that you see in your screen. So they're now making more money under this temporary unemployment, which as of right now is going to be 26 weeks plus 13 weeks, but it may get extended beyond that. We'll just have to wait and see. And you can look at the very bottom, obviously anesthesiologists. So, they make $126 an hour according to this survey. This is a CNBC survey, which is an analysis of the Bureau of Labor Statistics wage data. And so an anesthesiologist, for example, would not be able to meet their income. And then you can look at other individuals at the bottom. There's lawyers, personal finance advisors. Interesting, because I'm pretty sure that the personal finance space is pretty is in trouble right now. But information security analysts, education, childcare administrators, transportation inspectors, police officers, graphic designers, chefs and head cooks, all of these individuals, even with the $600 federal booster, they would be making less than what they made in a normal environment. But again, a majority of individuals, because they are in sectors with low paying wages, will now end up making more thanks to the $600 federal booster. Now, I mentioned this in other training videos. I've had a lot of comments from subscribers saying, hey, why didn't the federal government just directly send more money? This is all a matter of infrastructure, all a matter of overall organization. The system that we have, the system we are stuck with, is the state unemployment system. It would have taken a re-engineering of the state unemployment system to be able to send out massive amounts of money quickly, and that would have taken time. And guess what? We don't have time. The objective was to get money into the hands of Americans, and is even now to get money into the hands of Americans as quickly as possible. And the system is working. More and more individuals are starting to get their unemployment benefits. But what the federal government did was, in the interests of time, in the interests of expediting things, what they did was they used the existing archaic, outdated state architecture, state software systems, overwhelmed individuals working in state departments, working from home, to try and disseminate these benefits, which is why a lot of us are still waiting to hear back from the state. I predict that once this is all over, all of the state systems across the country will be gradually re-engineered. All the software systems will be improved, all the hardware, all the computers will be improved, all the mechanisms, all the data processing will be improved, so that states can disseminate money faster than ever before. But in the meantime, the intention is that the $600 federal booster, when combined with state unemployment, would then give individuals the money that they need to pay their bills, to pay their rent, to pay their mortgage, not have to risk themselves and risk others by stepping out and by looking for a job, and by putting themselves in harm's way in order to earn some money, in order to pay their bills. Now, there is a flip side to all this, like I mentioned earlier. And before I go any further, once again, if you're not a member of our community yet, please subscribe below. please click the notification button so you get instant notifications, and also click the like button because that helps the YouTube algorithm. A lot of effort goes into these videos, and all you have to do is take 1 second of your time, whereas it takes me several hours to put together these updates for you. So it takes 1 second, just 1 second of your time to click the like button since you're watching this right now. So you might as well go ahead and do that. Now, let's get back to the actual training. I talked about some of the disadvantages of unemployment, coming back to potentially lower wages, losing your health insurance. The other disadvantage is if your employer offers you your job back or wants you to come back to work, you may lose unemployment benefits. This interpretation will be back to the states. I mentioned at the start of this training that this comes down to three things. One, the state's interpretation of your situation. Number two, your job and what your job situation was prior to this entire pandemic, and number three, individual nuances to your situation. So there are many variables here. Ultimately, it's your state who will decide. If you have specific questions, you can try and ask questions below and see if a member of the community can assist, or you can contact an unemployment attorney who should be able to guide you further. But again, if your employer offers you your job back and you refuse that job, then you could potentially lose your benefits. Now, this is a gray area, and I've covered this gray area in more detail in another training video. So definitely make sure to check out the unemployment benefits playlist on my channel, or just check out all the videos and watch all the videos. But this is a gray area, because if your employer reports you to the state and says, hey, I offered this person their job back, but this person didn't come back, that could affect your state benefits. In fact, a lot of states are running short of funds. A lot of states don't have unlimited funds. In fact, a lot of states are now upside down by way of their budget and are now seeking money from the federal government. So the states, in my opinion, are going to be even more strict, even more stringent with how they hand out the money. They're not just going to say, hey, everybody who applies gets the money. They are not going to do that. Quite the contrary. States are very likely to say, wait a minute, you were offered your job, you should have gone back. And now if you say, hey, I was concerned about my safety, or I felt that if I traveled I would get sick, or I'm taking care of someone who's sick, that again would be something that your state would decide on a case-by-case basis. Also, in this situation, as states start to get their act together and start to get more manpower and start to improve their systems, I can guarantee you that the states will be looking for evidence of fraud. So if the state suspects any fraud or any kind of wrongdoing, they could not only claw back the money from individuals, but they could also prosecute those individuals. So we have to watch this closely, and we have to always get in touch with the state, give the state the documentation that they need, ask them the questions specific to our situation, and wait for the state to respond. Here's another thing. Just because an individual is unemployed does not mean that the state will consider them eligible for unemployment. Now, even if the state considers an individual eligible for unemployment, it could take the state many days or many weeks to actually approve the unemployment application so that the money starts coming. So if you are eligible for unemployment, you want to apply as quickly as possible. You want to make sure you have all your documents organized. I did cover all those documents in another training video, and you definitely want to get in touch with your state, because like I mentioned earlier, there are three parameters here. One, your state is going to make the final determination. Number two, it depends on your job and your specific situation. And number three, your situation will have its own nuances, which are best addressed by the state. As you know, there have been a record number of applications to states. The number of unemployment claims that have been seen in the last few weeks have wiped out all the job losses since the Great Recession. So all states are overloaded. Some individuals have waited almost 2 months to see their first payment from the state. Now, with all of this being said, as states start to reopen, as businesses start to reopen, as we get through this, the talk about unemployment benefits will decrease, and hopefully we'll be able to get back to work. But until then, it's best to get in touch with your state for specific guidelines. If your employer wants you to come back, and if you can go back while staying safe, you've got to obviously monitor all of the cases going on in your town, in your county, in your state. But if you can go back to work and you feel safe and you can keep yourself safe and not make others ill, you should definitely try and go back to work. I mean, ultimately, that's what we all want. None of us want to be collecting unemployment for an indefinite period of time, because unemployment is not meant to be a program that just keeps people at home not working. We all need to go out there and work, and all my subscribers know that. Again, if all of you have benefited from this training, please click the like button below. It takes me hours to create this video, this kind of training, and all the special effects and all the captions and all the fun animations that you see. It'll take you 2 seconds to click the like button. I would really appreciate that. That will help the YouTube algorithm, and I'm pretty confident we'll be able to get through this. Thank you, everyone. We will get through this. Stay strong. Once again, please click the subscribe button. Please smash the notification button so all notifications are enabled, and please click the like button because that does help the YouTube algorithm. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next training video.